YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here, 21 questions, part 3. A little something that I've been doing the last few weeks where we're actually having viewers, subscribers, followers, family, basically submitting their questions and just asking my opinion. It could be anything random, just anything some people want to know. Some questions I can answer, some questions I can't answer due to the fact of certain things. But we're going to start it off just like this. Question number 1, April Jackson. Know the Lead Show. What life circumstances happened to you that made you into the man you are today? Well, it's a lot of things that happened. First of all, just seeing a lot of my friends die at a young age in so-called quote unquote trying to be in school, one foot in school, one foot in the streets, trying to be a bad boy, tough boy, some little quote unquote gangster, until you realize, you're not as tough as you think you are, and that you have to be a fool to want to spend your life in prison or your life looking over your shoulder all the time. So that right there pretty much helped make me into the man that I am today. Just, want to do better and be better for myself and, for my family, for my loved ones, because I see myself going places in life, and you cannot go nowhere if you constantly looking over your shoulder, or if you laying somewhere dead, or just out on the streets doing anything. So that right there helped, shape me into the man that I am. And I hope that pretty much answers your question, because I can go in deeper details, but I'm sure you get the picture of what I'm trying to say. Just basically learning from my past and trying to go on toward a better future. But April Jackson, thank you for that question. Number 2, Jalissa Dorsey. Hello, Trey. I would like to know, what is your ethnicity, race? You are very handsome. Well, I'm black and Choctaw Indian, and I'm Creole. For those who want to know, that's how you get this gumbo mix, what you have right here, this etouffee or whatever you want to call it. Black, Creole, Choctaw Indian. And if you go look at some of the people who are of that descent, you will see with that high yellow color. But trust me, we know who we are. And Jalissa Dorsey, thank you for that question. I hope that answer your question. Number 3, Rashawn Barrett. Mr. Trey, my name is Rashawn, and I'm from Virginia, and might think this is a weird question, but I would like to know, why are you always wearing a hat? Because I wear a hat because that's my style, but I have pictures on my Twitter, my G+, and my other platforms where you can see me without my hat on. Basically, it's just my style. Everybody have their own little way they go about doing their shows, or making their brand. That's just my style. I just like to wear hats, doing my show, because it kind of sets you apart. Like, oh, the guy with the hat's the guy that always wear the hat, other than Star in the Morning, But Rashawn, okay, no, you had something else. I asked this question because I do follow you, and every time I watch you, I see you with a hat. Please don't get upset with behind the question. Thank you. Oh no, I'm not upset. Matter of fact, thank you for the question. But like I said, it sets me apart. It's part of my brand and myself, and just trying to be different, because that's one thing about me. I consider myself more of a trendsetter. I tend to go my own way, as most Aquarius do, But that's just my style. That's just the way I like to roll, especially when I'm on YouTube. But I have plenty of pictures with me on Twitter, G+, without a hat on, where you all can go see. Matter of fact, I will try to insert one in here, because yes, I got ways. And Roshan, I hope that answers your question, and thank you. Number 4, GB3141. Hi Trey, I'm Betsy. I was watching an interview with TK Kirkland on the BC, and he stated a woman has to have at least 25,000 saved in order for him to take her seriously. Not his exact words, but close. My questions are, did you see the interview? What are your thoughts on his comment? And do you have certain deal breakers when it comes to the type of woman you want to be in a serious relationship with, outside of true essence of who she is? Thank you for your time. Well, I caught a little bit of that interview with TK Kirkland, but one thing you would know about TK Kirkland, he's a hardcore comedian. TK Kirkland would sit there and just cuss people out, and talk about them, like the old DL Hughley used to do back in the day at, for you all remember, the BET Comic View, where DL used to just grill people, say all kinds of things, where he throw out just anything come to his mind. But I figured TK Kirkland was probably trying to make a point where, like, it shows that she can handle money, because women had the stigma where they like to spend money, love shopping. So he could have meant a number of different things, even though I don't know what he meant. But 25,000 really ain't gonna go too far anyway. It should have been like more like 225,000. Then you're talking something. But no, it don't matter about the money as long as you're not loose with it, and you pretty much just don't waste money on anything. I feel you shouldn't. It wouldn't matter if you had 1,000 there or 200,000. If you're a responsible person, everybody's not here to do the same thing. Everybody's not going to make the same income. And also, you said, and do you have certain deal breakers when it comes to the type of women you want to be in a serious relationship with? Yes, long as number one, she's loyal. Death before dishonor. That's number one thing with me, loyalty. Because if you loyal to me, you're gonna respect me, and everything else is gonna coincide and work as it should. But if you spending all my money, you know what I'm saying, and I'm bringing home all the money, well, you can have your job, but I consider myself the breadwinner. But if I'm bringing home all X amount of dollars and you spending more than half of the money just on bullshit every month, then yes, there is a problem, because I would not be able to get nowhere with you, and love don't pay these bills. So long as you're a responsible person and you're loyal, that's all that really matters to me. And GB3141 Betsy, thank you for that question, and I hope I answered it. Number 5, Torsha Gaston. Did your grandparents raise you? Because whoever it was did a great job. Well, my grandmother, on both sides, my grandmother and grandparents, on both sides, mom and dad, pretty much, yes, raised me, because my dad was in the Air Force traveling, back and forth, because he retired from the Air Force. I think was a captain. He was in there like 29 years. He retired then came back. But yes, basically traveling around. So whenever him and my mom used to leave and go wherever, I was spending time between my grandmother's house and on my mom's side and my dad's side, where one would keep me a while and the other one would keep with them. When they come back, I'll go be with them. So I was just around a lot of people, but basically they helped raise me. Then some of the older guys, as I got a little older, like a teenager, some of the guys in the neighborhood, that I looked up to, that was well respected in the neighborhood, kind of raised me too. I just kind of learned from everybody. But thank you for that question, Tarsha Gaston, and I hope I answered it. Darlene, do you like light skinned or dark skinned women, or does it matter to you? Hell no, it don't matter to me, because it's like this. You could be a light skinned woman and have a nasty attitude and be ugly. You can be dark as midnight and have a nasty attitude and still be ugly to me also. I'm not stuck on color. See, a lot of people, I get it though, because we have this colorism where you have light skin against dark skin. You have basically one side thinking they're better than the other one, because this old stigma, this old stereotype. But no, I don't see no difference, because beauty comes in all shapes, size, and colors. If you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying. Everybody need love, and if you're that close-minded where you're gonna date a person just because you won't date a person, but just because they too light or they too dark, then something is wrong with you. Then but everybody should have their own preference of choice. That's cool, but at the same time, I don't have no preference with it come between a light skinned woman or a dark skinned woman. If I'm feeling you, I'm feeling you. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can see you, it might be at nighttime, if she's real dark or something, if we in the bed, I might have to tell her to put a white hat on or a white t-shirt. That way I can rub around, see what she is. Like, where you at? Where you at? She be like, oh, here I go. Here I go. I'm right here. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you got the white t-shirt on I gave you. Yeah, that was just a joke right there. But no, it really don't matter, because I'm not stuck on color, even though to a lot of people it might look like it. But no, I'm not one of those guys that's stuck on color. To me, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But anyway, Darlene, thank you for that question. I hope I answered it. Number 7, live, love, laugh every day. If you started a movement or a protest, what would it be? Monica from Baltimore, I have so many questions for you. I want to pick your brain. If I started a movement, it would be called the Real Man Movement of Today. That's what it'd be called, Real Man of Today. And it basically would coincide with men standing up, taking the forefront again. Not saying that women can't lead also, but men has lost their place. If the men was right in this country and also this world, we wouldn't have all these things going on. The men, have fallen. Also the women too, but this ain't about the women. It's about the men, and I would just have a group of guys going around city to city, you know what I'm saying, to these inner cities and also to the suburbs, wherever you need it at, and basically try to educate and try to, get guys on board and talk about what it is to what it means to be a real man, and help these guys out and show them what is job experience, what is educational, or what is building or whatever, just basically can we reinstill them old values of how we was taught to be a real man. And that's what's missing today, because a lot of people don't take out the time to tell these young boys, these young kids, and these young adults what it is to be a real man. They think just because they have a penis or they get up and go to work, that's all it is to be a man. But it's not. It's way more than that. But anyway, that's what I would do. Be called a real man of today, where we have a group of guys, real men, going around trying to help people become the men that they supposed to be. And Monica from Baltimore, hope that answer your question, and thank you. Sharon Gee. Hi Trey. I'm Sharon Johnson from Raleigh, North Carolina. Have you ever considered being a motivational speaker? I think you will be very good at that. Yes, I have considered that. And matter of fact, I am already doing it, because a lot of things I say is already, motivational. It's already coinciding, treading on that same road for as a motivational speaker. Whereas I do things for as blogs and vlogs and talk about today's news and what's going on. But at the same time, I also give people encouragement. I also show people a way out. I also show people a way how you can better yourself. Now, true, I don't know everything, because like Neely Fuller Jr. said, the guy off of YouTube that you all should watch also. He's a very wise old man. I think he's in his 70s. He's one of the friends with Dr. Frances Quest Wilson. He was like her mentor. And for those of you who know Dr. Frances Quest Wilson, the ISIS paper, she was a very intelligent woman, and he was her mentor. But like he said, I'm a work in progress. I don't know everything. Every day I'm learning. So I can just give you what I know thus far, but best believe every day I'm trying to learn something new. Yeah, if yesterday I realized 1 plus 1 was 2, guess what? Today I'm going to realize 2 plus 2 is 4. And tomorrow I'm going to realize 4 plus 4 is 8. Every day you're supposed to grow and do better. At least that's my philosophy on life, because it's one thing to be stagnant. You don't want to be stagnant in this world. So you just want to keep constantly developing and growing, because as humans, we're always evolving. Either you're going to evolve or you're going to devolve. You're going to either grow into something better, or you're going to regress into something worse. So it's up to people. But yes, the motivational speaker, yes, I will try to pursue that a little bit more, kind of separate it. But I feel I'm already doing that. But I understand what you're saying, and thank you for your question, Sharon Johnson. Number 9, Cordell Gainier. Trey, what do you think about all the crazy things that's going on? Well, what I think about is this right here. I just think it's just a bunch of distractions, basically a bunch of mess, like I always say. And we as people need to focus on what's really important in this world, and that's helping each other, loving each other, and not letting this enemy, whatever we see on these news, whether it's these so-called shootings like in Las Vegas, these man-made hurricanes and all this stuff. We need to keep our eyes on the prize, and we need to not let all this stuff get us down and where we seem overwhelmed, because a lot of people ain't as strong as you and I. So, we need the strong people to encourage the weaker people, and that way we can tell each other, look, this ain't what you think it is, because all these are just basically scare tactics. It's one, if you notice one thing about the news, it's one thing after another every single day, where you have different catastrophes. You have this going on this side of the world, this going on, and to a person that's not spiritually grounded or a strong person, that will overwhelm them. They were like, what's going on. A lot of people can't handle that, but to the people who can handle that, and the people who can see that has a lot of light in them, you can pretty much guide your way through this wilderness of America, of planet Earth. And why I say wilderness is because that's basically the plane that we're on, because we deal with a lot of single stuff every day, but a lot of this stuff is just distractions. It's just to keep you unfocused and from becoming the person you need to become. That's what this life is about. It's about becoming the best you that you can be, and then once you achieve that, you can help others. That's what it's about. We're not here to stress and worry about everything going on in North Korea. We can only help who we can help, and if those who we can reach, if we can help them, cool. If not, we have to help ourselves. But that's what I feel right there. So crazy stuff gonna be going on till the end, you know. So what we have to do, just maintain this focus that we're on and stay driven and keep our eyes on the prize. And Cardell Gainer, thank you for that question. I hope I answered it. Chanel Monroe, hi Trey. I like your commentary. You speak as a man with much wisdom. Age. As you know, the young people of our generation need inspired. What standards do you hold dear that are most influencing to guide the youth today? Well, thank you for the compliment also. But the standards that I hold most dear is number one is the willingness to learn. You know, that's what the youth lack more than anything today. Number one, respect of their elders also, because we already know when we turn on certain shows or World Star or these YouTubes or whatever, the internet, what have you, you'll see students fighting teachers, jumping on teachers and stuff. So it's no respect. Then also, if it's no respect, it's no willingness to learn. Because if you constantly acting an ass and you doing things, you know, just to be popular, all these challenges and stuff, what are you really learning? Basically, what they're learning is how to be dummies, how to be fools, you know. So that's what the students need to learn today more than anything is respect and humbleness, humble themselves so they can learn. Because if you're not willing to, you know, humble yourself, you're unteachable, you're unreachable also. So that's what the kids need to learn today. They need to learn discipline, basically, because the discipline has been taken from the parents and from the schools. You know, when we was coming up, we didn't hear all this stuff, school shootings and stuff like that, because we was scared to get a pallet at school. Now you got kids these days whooping teachers' ass and whooping principals' butt, if you know what I mean. So it's no respect there, and you can't teach children who are not respecting you and who are not willing to learn. You know, it all coincide and go hand in hand. So I hope that answers your question, Chanel Monroe, and thank you for that question. Number 11, Lisa Webb. Hi, hey Trey, sweetie, how are you doing? This is Lisa. You know, your ledge music reminds me of an old song from a musical group called the Floaters, singing "Float On." Yes, I know that song. I like that song. Also, I used to hear it when I was a little boy. From your metaphors, when you're describing an individual, it's kind of like old school. My question for you is asking, what type of music you enjoy listening to? Well, I don't enjoy rap much as I listen to. I listen to that every now and then, but I always been R&B. R&B always been my number one thing. Whether you have your Joe, your Keith Sweat, even R. Kelly when he stopped pissing on people, um, Eric Benet, Maxwell's, these type of people, and also the older school of people like the Anita Bakers and them like that, Whitney Houston, and jazz, Kenny G. I like Kenny G and them, Winston Marsalis. I like classical music also. I listen to anything, you know, basically that sounds good to me. You know, I listened to a few rock a little bit when I was young. I don't listen to it much no more, but I did when I was younger. It might be a catchy guitar, it might be a catchy little hook or something, you know. That's just how I'm in tune. If it sounds good to me, I'll listen to it. But mostly it's R&B, you know, it's R&B and a lot of gospel now. I listen to a lot of gospel also now. And Lisa Webb, thank you for that question, and I hope I answered it. Number 12, Danny Haynes. Hey Trey, it's unique. Where did you go to college at? I went to college at Louisiana Tech University. That's the same college Carl Malone went to, where Terry Bradshaw went, Teresa Weatherspoon, Venus Lacey, and what have you, and also LSU. What type of student were you? I was a pretty good student. I mean, I maintained like a 3.2, 3.3 GPA. I could have did better, but I had a lot of things going on in my life because I was a party animal. I used to party all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like Eddie Murphy said, you know, back in the day. I used to party all the time, you know, from Thursday all the way up to damn Sunday sometimes. We was getting it in at the club. We just getting it in, but I could have did much better though. Have you smoked weed before? Hell yeah. We used to get, girl, we used to get lifted. We used to get toasted, you know what I'm saying? Like on that movie Half Baked. Yes, I used to do all that back in school. Yes, yes. Thank you for answering, and God bless you. Love your channel and commentary. Well, thank you also, Danny Haynes, Unique. And yes, we used to get toe up back in the day. And you know, I still did my schoolwork, but you know, we all did things when we was young. Number 13, Yolanda G. I missed it again. I would like to know if you graduate from college and where you went. Yes, I went to Louisiana Tech University and LSU. What are your favorite foods? I like soul food. I like Chinese food and I like Mexican food. Who is your favorite comedian? Well, my favorite comedian is the late great Patrice O'Neal. May he rest in peace. Corey Holcomb. Uh, I also like Dave Chappelle. I also like Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. You know, the usual suspects. But My my top three. If I have to pick my top three, it will be Patrice O'Neal, it will be Corey Holcomb, and it'll be Richard Pryor, or between Richard Pryor and Red Fox, because I love their type of their comedy. And also, how do you feel about video games? I don't mind video games. Just depends on what kind of games there are. If they are these violent games, a lot of children shouldn't play them because that bleeds over into their so-called quote unquote reality. Which is not reality. But a lot of these kids try to act these things out what they see on these games. Are you an only child? No, I'm the oldest. It's four of us. I have two brothers and one sister. If you get these questions for next time, I would say thank you in advance. Well, thank you also, Yolanda, and I hope I answer them to your liking. Number 14, Andre Jones. Know the leg show. Hey Trey, I just have one burning question. I hope you will answer for me. What's the name of that beautiful song you play at the beginning of your intro, bro? The name of that song is Pour Out Your Spirit by Marvin Samuel and Brian Samuel. And it's basically a gospel song. And a lot of people might be wondering why would you do that? Because when you talk to people, basically what you're doing is what? You're pouring out your spirit. You're talking. Pouring out your spirit just means you opening up. You letting what's inside of you come out. Now that's some deep metaphor right there. Can I get some dab with y'all? Yeah, but that's basically what it's there for. That's just to warm the people up because I'm getting ready to pour it out. And it might come clean. It might come rushing water like hurricane waves, or it might just come in little drops. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, but either way it go, I'm gonna pour it out. So that's why the song is on there, and it's a beautiful song. And I'm gonna eventually put the whole song up. That way you all can listen to the whole song in its completion. And it's a really beautiful song. And I'm glad you like it, and thank you, Andre Jones. Mona K, thank you for being so thoughtful and dedicated. Do you feel that people are adapting to becoming homebodies due to the increase in violence? Key Alexander, yes, because I'm telling you right here what you need to do, what a lot of people need to do. Get everything you want in your house. If you want to go to the movies, guess what? Go buy you a nice 1080p TV, Samsung or LG, if you can afford it, or a 4K. And if you like video games, we'll get all that. Put it in your living room, get you a nice system, and enjoy yourself at home because it's getting crazy out here these days. And you don't want to be one of these people caught up in the movie theaters where we have these shootings like on the remember when Batman came out, The Dark Knight, they had this crazy ass guy in Aurora, Colorado, went up there, basically shot the damn theater up, and that right there is still yet to be seen. Notice they don't talk about that hardly no more. But what I'm saying, I said this to say that if you have everything you need at home, true, it's not going to be totally the same experience, but one thing you can rest assured is that you can watch your movie in peace, and you won't have to worry about nobody in the background yelling radio and bust out shooting everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, get everything you want in your house. That's what I'm doing. Get everything you want in your house. That way you can chill at home more because it's not safe out here because all these random attacks. And I hate for one of you all, anybody else, but I hate for one of you all to be a victim, or I have to do a video. Somebody saying, well, your subscribers such and so got killed. Even though I know we all gonna go one day, but we don't need to speed up the process, if you know what I mean. So yes, I will say, to answer your question, being a homebody due to this increase in violence, should you stay at home more? Yes, I would definitely would say that. And also, Key Alexander, thank you for your question. Number 16, Treasure X. Hi Trey, my name is Shakina from New York City. My question, what is the most important career professional lesson you have learned in the last year? Well, the most important one I had learned in the last year is don't put all your eggs in one basket. You see, the reason why I say that, because a lot of times we so focus on one thing, and then if a storm or something come along, or if a problem or trouble come along and tear that down, we have to start back over from scratch. So what you do, if you got 10 eggs, guess what? You can put 8 over here in that basket, but put 2 over here on the side. Put 2 somewhere else just in case. You know what I'm saying? You can cultivate that and work on that right there, and that's just a metaphor for your career. You know what I'm saying? You can, whether it's a platform, YouTube platform, or whatever you're trying to do, whether it's a job or whatever, spend time over there doing what you're going to do. But guess what? Also have some to back up, like that backup plan. So in case something happened to this, you can always bounce back with that. See, a lot of people put all their stuff in one basket, and then when a catastrophe comes, you lose everything. So that's the most important thing I learned. Diversify yourself. Spread your hustle. In other words, and Shakina from New York, thank you for that question. Adrian Tab, hello Trey. What do you think and how do you feel about the issue of colorism in the black art community? Well, I think it's a bunch of bullshit because it's sad that you will have people talk about white people that and black people, a lot of them just as racist as these white people they talk about. You know, a lot of them talk about me. You know, I block them off my channel because I don't need nobody telling me who the hell I am. I knew the hell who I was before they knew who I was before I popped up on YouTube. I know my identity. But you know, racism is all across the board. You have whites being racist. You have blacks being racist. You have light skinned people being racist. You have Chinese people being racist. Everybody's racist to a certain degree. But in the black community, there's this stigma where you have the white people, I mean the light skinned people are the pretty boys. They're the soft ones. They're more tend to be gay. A lot of them eat coochie real well. It's all kind of stigmas and stuff. So this colorism really drives a wedge into the black household because if you cannot go to one black household, you can rarely if one out of every 1,000 where you have everybody dark skinned, there's gonna be a couple brown skinned and light skinned people in there. Due to people going off having children with people with other races and other ethnicities. So and but I don't understand why people hate their own people. Just because I'm a lighter shade than you, if you can't realize and hear who I am when I'm talking, that's shame on you. Then you just as blind. And also, black is just a color, because you can be the blackest person in the world and be a sellout. We got a lot of them leading the country right now and been leading. So just because you're a certain color don't mean a damn thing. And it needs to really get squashed, because dark skinned people treat light skinned people just as bad as white people do. Just as bad as white people treat dark skinned people. So I guess it's just a ongoing cycle. And I hope that answers your question right there. I don't want to get into much into that, but you pretty much know what I'm saying. People got to learn to love their own. And Adrian Taft, thank you for the question. Number 18, Tiffany Smith. Why are people so unhappy? Because a lot of them are miserable. Misery loves company. A lot of people just didn't become the person that they thought they would become when they was young. Everybody had this dream when they was young, like they used to ask you in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? Some people say a firefighter, some people say a nurse, some people say a doctor. And throughout these travails, these travels of life, the journey of life, some people get lost by the wayside, where some people go on and achieve those dreams. And the people that achieve those dreams, they don't sit around and be unhappy. They're not sitting around worrying about what Miss Jessie doing at her house. They ain't worried about what Ray Ray doing over there at his auntie house. They too busy out there living their lives and having fun. But when people don't have nothing going on in their lives, they have plenty of time to do what? Be unhappy and keep others unhappy. But guess what? You only gonna give people what's inside of you, a reflection of what's inside of you. So if you happy and you good, guess what? You ain't gonna do nothing but make somebody else happy and feel better. But if you feel like shit and you feel bad, guess what you gonna do? You gonna go make somebody else feel unhappy and bad also. So I hope that answers your question right there. A lot of people just miserable and they done missed their boat. They ship themselves without them. In other words, once you reach a certain age, that ship ain't coming back. So it's best to get it together while you're young. And Tiffany Smith, thank you for that question. Number 19, Tisha Antoine. What inspired you to start your own YouTube channel? What inspired me to start my own YouTube channel? Because I was going to all these YouTube channels, damn near been through a lot of, and I seen that most of the content wasn't balanced. It was either more pushing toward the left or toward the right. It was never in the center. It was never balanced. Where you have people pretty much talking about white people, but they won't call out the stuff black people do. But then you have people calling out the black people, but then won't call out the stuff that the white people do. So I just try to keep a balanced channel where, I'm gonna talk about whoever. It don't matter who you are, young, old, rich, or poor. I don't care. I don't care about your money. I don't care about your color. I see two things, right and wrong. Either you're right or either you're wrong. But a lot of people don't do that because they too much playing the game and playing this colorism stuff where I'm not gonna go in on my people, but I'm gonna talk about your people. No, you gotta clean around your own front door first. You gotta clean around your own house first before you clean around somebody else's. That's the key right there. But that's what inspired me to start my own channel. Basically, not seeing that there was a lot of balanced content out there and balanced critique. Only very few people on YouTube do that. There's only very few people that give you a real rounded uh, judgment. Pretty much a well-rounded discussion, if you will. And thank you, Tisha Antoine, for that question. And I hope that I answered it to your liking. Number 20, just call me Justice. Trey, my question is, what is your main source of income? Wow, that's very personal. Well, I'll tell you this right here. I have variable sources of income. I have a few things going on, but one does not reveal one's hand. But best believe it's not this. You know what I'm saying? If you go on my other platforms, you will see what it really is. But I just advise you this: just to go over to my Twitter or my G Plus, and you will see. Pictures right there. And thank you for your question, Justice. Number 21, Nita Edelin. I see you're an Aquarius, also like me. What date is your birthday? My birthday is January 24th. My birthday is February 13th. 13th, right before Valentine's. And I wouldn't have it any other way. 213 Trey. But anyway, thank you everybody for the questions. And also thank you, Nina, for your question. But thank you everyone for the questions. And Tuesday I will upload another video, and you can submit your questions in Tuesday. The reason why I do it like that way they can fall under one video. I ain't got to go through all my videos because I got a lot of them. I ain't got to go through all these videos trying to get people questions. That's why I say put them on certain videos. You can either put it on this one. You can put some of your questions on this video, or you can put some of your questions on a Tuesday video that I have uploaded. But to everyone, thank you for your question. To all the ones that I didn't get to answer, I will eventually get around to you. Like I said, we just at week 3, and we got plenty more to go. So thank you to everyone, and have a blessed day. I'm out.